What's up, guys? Welcome to another exciting edition of Real Estate Podcast, episode 378. I'm here with Griffin.
I'm here with Trav.
And we're crushing balls with Southern draws with Adam.
I did not expect that to happen.
Nope. There's a lot of stuff in this movie I didn't expect to happen.
Even though I knew some balls were getting crushed. Because
Yeah.
Trav was like, when I saw balls get crushed, I was like, I got to wait for Deidre. And that still caught me off guard.
Yeah, it's like, whoa.
Yeah, you can't be prepared for that moment, whether someone's told you or not.
And that dude did not move.
No.
I would have rolled over. I'd be like, kill me, shoot me.
Yeah.
If you crush my balls with some high heels, dude, we're fighting.
Yeah, right.
She went Killer Joe with that fucking handgun.
She did suck it.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to blow his head off.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
But she was going for the other head.
I mean,
a head did lose it, so.
MaXXXine.
Follow
the final installment.
Yeah. Follow up to X and Pearl.
Accidental trilogy.
Yes. Which, I mean, to be fair, in the horror world of trilogies, not bad.
Yeah.
Especially the newer ones.
Yeah, for real, right? Was a lot different than I was expecting it to be. But I mean, really, like, whenever it's like, all right, it's going to be MaXXXine, it's going to be in the 80s, and it's going to be like, you know, her and Hollywood and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, was it going to get into like how the events of X, like, kind of traumatized her? And it does a little bit, but I was expecting it to be more, I don't know, expecting it to be more of her dealing with the trauma of that, because she did deal with it a little bit, but not as much as I was expecting them to.
Well, it's almost like the carryover from all the movies were light to an extent.
Yeah.
Where honestly, each movie could kind of stand on its own.
Yeah, which is not.
I mean, if you're watching in chronological order, Pearl is its own thing, X is its own thing, and same with MaXXXine. It's just if you stuck around for the ride, you're like, okay, we're dealing with some of the same characters, but you know,
Yeah.
just
I think
each movie kind of
Pearl was the best one.
Yes.
Yeah,
I agree.
I would. Yeah, same.
Not the best ending. Not the worst.
No, I did like the opening. I like the opening for MaXXXine, the ZZ Top, the montage of going through the city.
Bad bitch.
Like, yeah, like I dug
dude, when she pulled that car out of there, I was like, God damn.
Yeah, right. Honestly, I think that he had too much time to cook on this one, in my opinion. Because, like, you know, X was original idea. They went to like New Zealand or Australia somewhere to film this, and they got stuck there during the pandemic. So he's like, I will write a prequel. Let's explore these characters from X, and and it was just bam, bam, bam. Like, we're already here. We're on set. We're on location. We've still got access to everything. Let's do it. And her playing the old lady in X was it was a natural transition for her to, of course, play the younger version of that character. And it was kind of 1, 2, 3, and it got done. For me personally, I think he let this one cook a little too long. And because of that, it kind of suffers in a way, because there could have been a lot of other things that happened that would have made this movie better, in my opinion. I think that if he would have focused on a different character and still have MaXXXine as being part of it, but focusing on a different character in 1980s LA, with her still like doing the stuff that she's doing, I think that could have been better.
Well, more like a supporting character where it's like they could have still had MaXXXine front and present in a way, but follow another character that's trying to do the famous, that's, obsessed with trying to be, getting some sort of renown under their belt. And then, have it where MaXXXine's kind of along, but you're like, dude, when is she going to show her true colors? And she don't. So, like, you have this movie that's constantly got attention there
Yeah.
because you're like, when is this bitch going to lose her nerve,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
I
know.
thought she was
But
going to be the killer.
I can
like,
agree with what you're saying.
I thought
I
it was
was
going to be
waiting
like
for a
her,
switch too.
like she was the one killing actresses, so she,
Yeah.
she could get all the good roles.
Yeah.
But it
And
was
that's where
Daddy.
that's where I think that the movie kind of failed in a way where it's like she's already played the victim, right? And them still trying to victimize that her character in MaXXXine is kind of awkward because like she survived, right? And of course, surviving something that traumatic and not be end up in an insane asylum is going to make you a stronger person. So it's like you don't really believe that whole facade of her like still being this victim and having to play the victim but not play the victim at the same. It's so weird, man. Like it's such a weird contrast in my opinion. um I think it would have been better if they would have focused on a different character that was linked to the events of X going to LA, being in LA while Maxine's doing everything, and trying to figure out what's going on because all this weird stuff is constantly happening around her. The, that could have been a more interesting way of approaching the subject matter. But I don't know. Like I said, it's weird that they're still trying to like have her be like a badass, but also a victim at the same time, and like have this trauma, but not like fully address and deal with this trauma like the way that it could have been.
Yeah.
Like the whenever they go to the house from Psycho and she sees the chick in the window, and all that kind. I'm like, okay, here's where it's going to start getting weird. Like she's going to be trying, like all this killing is happening in LA, and it's going to be this whole psychological battle for her, and it just doesn't happen. It's just her dad is like crazy, like cult cult leader
Religious
thing.
cult.
Or it's like,
Yeah,
or it's almost like it's those little moments we're trying to show you just how much, like how barely, like she's kind of keeping her shit together.
yeah,
When he was
Which
the
I mean, I
preacher on the
guess,
TV at the house and Pearl, right? No, X.
yeah,
He's like Southern Heaven's Gate.
yes, yeah,
He looks just like that dude.
yeah,
you're right now
and
that you mentioned
Yeah,
that.
even had the. I'm
yeah.
like, I wonder if they're wearing sneakers.
Mhm.
Mm.
And I think that this, if they would have done it in a different way, because I thought that this was going to be how the movie ended. I thought that whenever they got to the end of the flick with the dad and they're filming everything, I thought that that was going to be a transitional point in the movie to where everything that's been going on was her in a movie.
Her movie,
Yes, so it's going to be like a movie within a movie.
like when she had that flash thing where it was like, oh, I'm a star, and then she's
Yes,
making her movie. That would have been a better ending.
yes, but
And then it
you
was like, is
know,
this all in her head? Is she going to jail? Are they going to kill her?
Well, yeah,
exactly.
early on, I was thinking too because of the whole, the night stalker stuff. I part of me was like, is he about to do some alternate history where like the Night Stalker comes for her and she's like, oh, bitch, I'm crazier than you, and just like fucking pitchforks his face off,
Yeah,
I mean, of course,
Or
that's very early on in the movie, but you know that
yeah,
was my first like you kind of lay your bets on the table at the beginning, during a horror film, and in a first act, it's like okay, let's see what we're working with. It's probably gonna be this, and then
yeah. But it wasn't bad.
mm-mm.
Um I mean, I didn't feel like I wasted my time while I was watching it, none of that kind of stuff, but to me it was definitely the weakest out of all 3 of the movies.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I will say that even when the weird stuff was going on, there were there was like a lot of gaps in there, and it's kind of something that the other two movies suffered with just a little bit, maybe not as much. But it's like some of the characters you just honestly didn't really give a shit about. You're like, all right, we get it. All right, victim number one, victim number two, like people would show up to be like, all right, yeah, you're probably gonna die.
Kevin
Yeah.
Bacon was cool.
How random was that?
Yeah. How random was
Well,
Gus?
dude,
I mean,
I like that
the
Yeah,
character.
wig though.
Yeah.
Those were like the
mhm.
only 2 characters I enjoyed in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I
agree.
mean,
I was waiting for Bacon before all of his stuff. Like I was expecting him whenever she first sits down with him at the table, in that restaurant.
yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
I
"Chick,
was ex-
please."
I was expecting like him to channel his best McConaughey.
He went full LeBlanc on it, dude.
like
He did. Your Honor.
like
Yeah.
you sucked 6 dicks last session. We gotta put those rookie numbers. We gotta get them numbers up.
And
Can't even.
he said that, like, "Oh, we heard about what happened in Texas. You don't want us bringing any of that kind of stuff, right? You'll go to jail." And it's like, and they never really elaborate on that. So, like,
We're
what happened? Like, what is he referring to? Because it was self-defense, right?
Yeah, but she just left. I mean,
Well,
you
yeah.
can't do that. You know,
That's true. Yeah,
you can't
that's
be
true.
somewhere where everybody gets murdered and just leave. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
somebody's got to stick around and talk to the cops if they're alive.
Yeah,
And she
that's
would have
true.
and
been
when you
fine, but she wanted to go to Hollywood and be a star. Like, she saw that shit on the TV and was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And at the end of the movie, you're like, yeah, good for you. But it's like, also illegal.
Yeah. Yeah. Not good.
I'm sure at the end, she gets connected to it. And they're like, because she's on there giving them her story. So,
Yeah.
you're a star now. You're the victim.
Yeah.
Why did you leave? I just want to go to Hollywood and do some porn.
Yeah.
Mhm.
To be a big
Fair
star.
enough.
Yeah.
to get the life I deserve.
They did not even interrogate that motherfucker when he was in that car.
No, dude, they were just like squash him.
Mhm.
I'm like, you're not even going to
Squish
ask
him
him
like
who the guy is? We know.
yeah.
He's like, get out of here. We'll clean this up. Then was they Dobermans?
Yeah.
They just went over there and licked the blood up. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. What are we doing
Let's put
here?
those dogs down.
Yeah, they got the taste now. They got the scent, dude.
Heck,
um but yeah, it was a really weird dynamic, and I definitely think that I think he worked on it too much.
I feel like he was
And
watching Fantasia when he was writing that ending.
yeah,
Just
right.
the robes and I don't know.
It got real weird, that part. And I enjoyed that. But then it's like, okay, they do the fast forward thing and then it cuts back to him and I'm like,
Yeah,
what is
did any of that
happening?
just happen?
Yeah, like is this all in her head? Like what? I like the way it was shot. I like
Yeah.
the cinematography, the aesthetic, all that was great. But there was just a couple of, you know, interesting choices.
Well, I think that also lends itself to the idea that, a lot of folks can watch this movie not having watched X or Pearl, you know.
Yeah.
And should they desire to, they could be like, oh, that's why they were being all weird with her, you know, or that's why she's fucking bugging the fuck out from time to time.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
if you watch this, you're like, oh, it's her dad. He's a preacher.
Yeah.
Because it ended how it started.
Yeah.
It opened with that shot of him talking to her, and she's dancing. And then it ended with that. And you kept knowing, like, at the end, it's like, I was like, once it's getting there, it's like, this guy's got to be the guy from the. I'm like, it can't be anybody from the house. They're all dead.
Yeah.
That would have been wild if it was like the old man or something.
Yeah.
What?
He just shows up to
Kill my
Hollywood and
wife.
raising. Yeah, right.
You gonna die.
Kill my pearl.
But yeah, didn't hate it. Didn't enjoy it as much as the other two, but it just didn't feel like a horror movie.
I think it's worth a half star from me.
I'm giving it a half star as well.
Yeah, I think that feels right. I just,
I'm pretty
mean-
sure I
Try.
gave the other two full stars, and if I did that, I can't give this one.
Yeah. It's
Not
a
with a good
1.5
conscience.
star. Yeah. But I'm interested to see what Ty West does moving forward and Mia Goth. I think that
And he is a good director. I mean, that's none of this is really a jab at him. It just was the weaker of the three, I would argue.
yeah.
Like you said,
So
Griffin, you would think there would have been more nudity.
for real,
I mean,
right?
especially with 3 X's in the name.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's the 80s. It's a slasher movie.
The only thing that you really saw was like the VHS
Dead
tape.
girls naked.
Well, yeah, that too. Yeah.
It was like, okay, living dead girl.
Yeah.
Like, not even a sequence where, to call back to the era, not even a sequence where, like, some fucked up shit goes down in a room and a bunch of naked bitches come running out like they're the victim of a panty raid, you know?
And like, what was the point of the cops? Like, they really served no
Movie
purpose.
references.
Well,
Because that
yeah,
guy
that's
kept
true.
on like, how was
Yeah.
my act at that time? The guy from Boardwalk Empire?
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
I mean, they got dropped pretty quick. So like,
She came out
Well,
from
I
there and was
mean-
like, I got him. And it's like, bitch,
Yeah.
there's a knife hanging out of your eye.
yeah,
You didn't get shit.
Well, I mean, it's kind of that cliche where during the '80s horror craze and everything, like cops are pretty fucking useless in those movies.
That was the chick from Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like cops usually show up to do one of two things in those movies. Either they're in on it and it's like, no, what the fuck? Or it's like, all right, I'll go sweep the house, and then like the killer kills them, you know?
Yeah. Let's see. What is this movie? What is its tags here? Serial killer, slasher horror, crime horror. Like, I would say
Horror
crime, yes.
mystery.
Yeah, I mean, but serial killer, I mean, maybe, I guess. Slasher horror, don't really feel that.
I think there was enough of a body count to constitute it as a slasher, but that's just me.
Yeah. But yeah, they were into some weird shit. We got this party to go to, MaXXXine. She's like, I gotta get up early in the morning.
You have to ride a gondola.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that
It's
the
like,
Hollywood
Maxine.
sign?
They're like, but Maxine, it's a freak off. You gotta go to the freak off.
Diddy's going to be there.
yeah,
Your Diddy. I mean, Daddy's.
yeah. I think 1.5 stars is perfect for this. Like,
I would
Didn't
be
hate
willing
it.
to raise my star At the end of the movie, when her head's on that bed and the credits are rolling, if it would have done that the whole time the credits rolled,
Yes.
I'd raise the star because I thought that was cool.
Yeah, it looked
The way
great.
the credits were rolling past it, I was like, "That's
Yeah.
cool." But then it like pulled out and went to black. And it was like, "Come on, we got like 10 more minutes of credits left." Could have left it on the head.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's a star.
And it's
Happy
like,
ending.
so she's a star. She tells her side of the story, and that's just that. Like, she dealt with her trauma by killing her dad.
Hmm. Sometimes that's all you got to do, I guess.
I mean,
What happened
Methods.
between them? Because he was a
yeah,
little, to be religious, he was into some fucked up shit.
yeah,
Like stuffing women actresses. Now, I get why he would want to, the porn stars his daughter was
yes,
hanging out with. I'm like, okay, I could guess why he might not like them, but the one chick was just an actress
yeah,
in a horror movie, and he stuffed her in a fucking made her do the look and cut her head off. Like,
yeah.
if you do that too much, you'll get stuck like that, and it did.
Hmm.
When it went rolling down those steps, it was like, oh, it's doing the look.
Yeah, some questionable choices, but hey, they can't all be bangers. You know what I'm saying? Which is unfortunate.
I mean, not every movie's a porn.
I mean,
Well, the B porn industry, I guess, would have a word with me.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
right. We're actually making art out here. Are you?
you see, there wasn't enough, graveling of the cock. There was enough gravitas in the original film, but this one, goblin cock.
So we got a little bit of movie news here. So Coleman Domingo in talks for Steven Spielberg's mysterious event. So fresh off his Oscar nom for Best Actor in Rustin, Coleman Domingo is now in talks to join Steven Spielberg's untitled event film alongside a star-studded cast. Spielberg is set to return to the summer movie action with his latest project, written by frequent collaborator and legendary screenwriter David Koepp. The upcoming mysterious film is being kept under wraps, but early indications tease the director's most exciting project in years. Deadline reports that Coleman Domingo is in talks to join the cast of Spielberg's next event film, which is being made under Amblin Entertainment and Universal Pictures. If the deal goes through, Domingo will join Emily Blunt, Colin Firth, and Eve Hewson in the untitled picture. The actor is currently getting Oscar buzz again for his performance in this year's Sing Sing, adding to his recent award streak. Although plot details are non existent other than it's UFO related, and the cast is still coming together, Universal already has a summer 2026 release date in their schedule reserved for Spielberg's film. The director returns to summer blockbuster filmmaking after producing a smaller, more personal project, The Fablemans. Of course, there is no official indication that Spielberg's next project is a blockbuster action packed movie. The release schedule, timing, and event film moniker lean speculation towards that outcome, but an A list cast featuring Domingo Blunt Firth says a lot about the project's ambitious nature. There's a palpable excitement regarding the film, as all signs indicate the biggest Spielberg film in quite some time.
It'll take place in World War II. It'll deal with the occult, and it'll do a lot of weird time jumping.
Yeah. So it says Domingo adds Spielberg's project to a busy schedule, which currently has him co starring in Michael Jackson's biopic. He is set to voice the iconic Marvel villain Norman Osborn in Disney Plus's Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider Man, expected to stream on the platform later this year. Recently showed up in the Oscar nominated remake The Color Purple, produced by Spielberg, who directed the original. In the upcoming event film, the actor reunites with the director after appearing in Lincoln. Domingo is currently set to star, direct, and co-write a Nat King Cole musical biopic.
Speaking of Michael Jackson, did y'all see that Tito passed away?
No,
It got overshadowed by the Trump thing the other day. Same day.
really?
Yep.
Wow,
Heart attack.
that's
He was
wild.
driving from somewhere, like a long drive, had a heart attack.
Mm,
Fucking traffic will get you, man.
yep.
R.I.P. Tito.
Last, I think, maybe, no, I'm sure there's more, but I always like Tito.
Got to stay calm in traffic, man.
Yeah.
Got to stay calm. I know it's hard, but
Mm.
yeah, I'm excited to see some Spielberg sci-fi, regardless of who's in it. I mean, what's the last thing he did? Ready Player One?
Well, he's got 22 projects in the works, so he might be spreading
Does
himself a
he?
little thin.
Jesus
I mean,
Christ,
Real Steel
really?
2, like he's all over the place, man. Like, well,
That
he's a
sounds a lot
producer
like
on like every fucking movie. Cola Wars, really?
It's a miniseries.
between Pepsi and Coke.
Napoleon, the TV miniseries. We just got a 4-hour movie.
Yeah. Untitled Transformers GI Joe crossover. Untitled
Robo
I
Marvel.
would
Apocalypse, which is a Michael Bay movie.
I would like to see Spielberg do a one man show movie that's like very much like deep space. You know what I mean? Like somebody who's, you know, just blanket summary idea. Like somebody wakes up from deep space and it's just them having like self reflection and discovery, like while they're fucking like this planet is useless. You know, like don't necessarily go too interstellar, but like have it to where it's just somebody being like, man, I'm trying to find somewhere like signs of life. Like have it to where he's like one of a bunch of motherfuckers, kind of like in Interstellar, where they were like, we shot like 10 of you guys into deep space. Like, hopefully, one of you is gonna find a habitable planet. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's see. How old Spielberg?
77.
I mean,
Or just a good Area 51 movie with him. Like he executes that aspect in his movies so well.
yeah, he's gonna have to get some of this stuff churned out, which most of it he's produced.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a producer. He's only got 3 directors. I mean, 3 or 4. Like when you get rid of everything but director,
Yeah.
and
But
of course you got to
22
get
something
Try Guys.
projects
That's a lot,
at
man. You
his
spread
age.
yourself thin.
Well, it does kind of scream, I want to do a lot before I die. Or before I get too old to
Like,
do it
it's
anymore.
real important that Real Steel's on there, huh? Real Steel 2.
Well, I mean, that's been what 10+ years that the first one came out.
And he's a producer, so it's like he watches it. He's like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it
Mm.
looks good.
They're going to love
Is
it.
is
He's
Hugh
counting money.
Jackman? Yeah, is Hugh Jackman take his shirt off? Let's do it.
Mm.
Okay.
Just see, they're like, but Hugh Jackman, he's nothing like his muscle mass has declined in his age. Did you motherfuckers not watch Deadpool and Wolverine? Just CGI it.
Yeah.
Don't bother me again, you know?
Muscles have gotten cheaper.
So next up here, Tim Robinson, Paul Rudd film Friendship, acquired by A24. So
You say
Netflix
Tim
is
Robbins?
Tim Robinson.
The
He's a
comedian, the guy that's got that Netflix show.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
he's
was like
funny.
Tim Robbins. I was like, well, I ain't seen it with him in a hot minute. Like he just
yeah,
did like he was in the cameo circuit, wasn't he? Like
pretty much, right?
he'd show up long enough to be like a disheveled bum. It's like get the fuck out of here, and then that's the Tim Robbins cameo.
So it says here, Netflix, I think you should leave creator and star Tim Robinson acts alongside Paul Rudd in Friendship, an upcoming comedy that has just been acquired by A24. The film follows a suburban family man played by Robinson who becomes dangerously obsessed with a charming new neighbor, Paul Rudd. Directed by Andrew DeYoung, who did Our Flag Means Death. Friendship has officially landed a distributor after receiving glowing reviews at the Toronto International Film Festival premiere. Variety reports that A24, no stranger to acquiring acclaimed film festival films, I guess that's an oxymoron, acquiring acclaimed festival films, is set to release Friendship at some point in the future. No release date has been announced, but it's safe to assume a late 2024, early 2025 release window is in the card. Friendship features Tim Robinson in his first starring role in a film, which still includes his unique penchant for awkward, cringy humor. An official synopsis is not available, but TIFF programmer Pete Kaplowski described the film as follows: When an errant delivery pulls suburban dad Craig Waterman into the orbit of his mysterious and charismatic new neighbor, Austin Carmichael, a sweet bromance seems to blossom over an innocent evening of urban exploration, punk rock, and a mutual appreciation for Paleolithic antiquities. But what should have been the start of a beautiful friendship is soon waylaid as Craig's obsessive personality begins to alienate his new pal, subsequently introducing a spiral that threatens to upend Craig's entire life. I mean, if if it's done,
Yeah.
can we just release the movie? You know what I mean? Like, I kind of want to watch that. It sounds interesting.
I'm here for it because this guy's funny. And the
Yeah, he
fact that
is.
he's
Yeah,
bringing Paul Rudd in,
yeah.
that's cool.
It sounds like it's going to be real dark.
Yeah, his shit's dark.
Yeah, which I'm here for.
Yeah.
So Tim Robinson, like he's older, right?
That the guy,
43.
yeah. So
So
no, Paul Rudd's got
I
to be
mean,
older than him.
yeah, Paul Rudd's like 65.
No.
Dude, he's old. Hold
What?
on. Paul
55.
Rudd. Yeah. I mean,
That's
I was
still
close.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
whoa. When you
Dude,
said
like
65, I was like, there's no way.
Paul Rudd's got like a Lazarus pit.
Yeah.
Full of
He fucking
adrenochrome.
yeah, well, I mean, if you want to go there, yeah, he absolutely fucking ate a baby.
So this sounds good, man. I'm excited to see this, and A24 picking it up is great. It's good to see them kind of branching outside of like, which this may lean into it, the more psychological aspect of things, but you know, this looks good. And then the guy that did Our Flag Means Death, which I haven't watched any of that, heard it was
Mm,
good. He did 4
I saw where
episodes.
it got the axe. Sadly,
they got 2 seasons.
This dude, he's done a lot of TV and short.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
So, but yeah, be on the lookout for that. Hopefully, it comes out. They'll probably hold it until 2025. I mean, it's already September, right? So I don't see this being a Christmas movie, which who knows, it might be, But look at Paul Rudd in that picture with his
Rocking that
mustache.
stash, holding
He
the bus
looks
drive.
like Josh Brolin kind of.
Oh, he does.
He's kind of got a Brolin look to him.
He's a Brolin bro.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
what's that? What's that fucking bed or quote company? Bowling Branch.
I mean, I don't know. So next up here, Mike Flanagan's new Stephen King movie scores big win at TIFF. So the latest King adaptation, The Life of Chuck, starring Tom Hiddleston, cleans up the Toronto International Film Festival. The film, directed by horror icon Mike Flanagan, came home with the People's Choice Award at TIFF, a win that came as a surprise to many. Bringing home this award could be a good sign of things to come for Flanagan and his crew. American Fiction was the winner in 2023, and The Holdovers named the runner up, two movies that ended up becoming Best Picture nominees. King adaptations been very hit or miss over the years. On one side of the coin, we have adaptations like It, that grossed over 700 million at the box office. On the other side of the coin, we see movies like Salem's Lot struggling to land a proper release. The latter is finally set for a Max release in October. The Life of Chuck is Flanagan's first film since 2019's Doctor Sleep, a sequel to The Shining, both of which are also King adaptations. Hiddleston is joined by a star-studded cast in The Life of Chuck that includes Mark Hamill, Tweedle, uh, Ejiofor, I can never pronounce that dude's name, Karen Gilliam, and his frequent collaborator, Kate Segal. At the time of this writing, the film has an 88% score on Rotten Tomatoes, Flanagan's highest film score since 2017's Gerald's Game, yet another King adaptation. This is also an increase from what the score it initially debuted with. Following all the positive word of mouth and the TIFF win, you might be wondering what all the fuss is about. And with King penning the original story on which it's based, you might expect The Life of Chuck to be a horror film, but that's not quite the case. And then it goes into what it's about. I think this is based off a short story that King wrote. Um, I'm interested in checking this out, but like as Mike Flanagan's like portfolio grows and
Another
like
King movie.
yeah, he is the guy that's in talks right now to do Dark Tower. And
Well,
it's
he's kind
nice
of
to
painting himself as I'm the new Stephen King guy.
yeah,
Yeah, I
right.
wonder. Yeah, which makes me wonder. I wonder how Frank Darabont feels about that.
Well, I think he's still upset from The Walking Dead. So
Yeah,
Um, they did not include Matthew Lillard's name in that Star Trek cast. I'd just like to say he's in the movie too.
that's wild. Maybe he's in a secret role.
He's on the IMDb. He plays Gus. He has a
Oh,
name.
Gustavo?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Look at me,
And he,
Chuck.
and of course, you know, he did Doctor Sleep. We did that. I haven't watched Gerald's Game. Um he did The Haunting of Hill House and The Fall of the House of Usher. So everything's looking good. Maybe this will help convince a studio. Like if this releases internationally and it does decent, maybe this will help convince a studio to give him what he needs to be able to do a legitimately faithful adaptation
I think
of
it'll
Dark
be
Tower.
Apple.
They like throwing money at stuff.
Now they got plenty. They got a lot of phone money.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
phone money.
I between you and me, I'd really like for whatever whatever Hollywood's going through right now and different studios and stuff. I kind of want all that to get ironed out first before they just chuck. I mean, at the end of the day, I'll line up and watch a Dark Tower adaptation for better or worse. But I, I don't know. I'm, I'm, I'm still, I'm still apprehensive at this point.
Yeah. But I think with Flanagan's him being
Success.
attached to it. Yeah, and with King already reading his treatment of the source material and giving it the thumbs up, even though that doesn't mean a whole lot because King will give the thumbs up to anything that allows him to cash a check.
Preach.
He's too busy
Yeah.
arguing with people on Twitter about his
Well,
ridiculous.
He's
when
Tom Petty.
well,
Yeah,
when he'll sell the movie rights to a story for $1, it tells you something.
yeah, yeah. But
Um, I do think, that if they could just do the gunslinger, like fuck going off the deep end just yet. Let that be part of the big Golgotha sequence where Walter's breaking Roland's mind, and just let it be just a classic chase movie. Let it have like let it have the coloring and the filters of like Sisu and gold,
mhm.
and just let it be rolling, just chasing that son of a bitch across the desert, and just kind of building up that, like, like it could be a good intimate movie before it turns into the sprawling epic.
Yeah. Which is interesting because the life of Chuck isn't necessarily a horror. It's not Horror King, right?
Yeah.
Um, because they go
I
into it.
haven't read. I haven't read a lot of modern King, to be honest with you.
Says it's a novella published by King in 2020 as part of a larger collection of previously unpublished novellas called If It Bleeds. The collection includes Mr. Harrigan's Phone, um, Rat, and Life of Chuck. Of
This
the
is
four,
drama,
if it,
fantasy, sci-fi.
yeah, um,
I think the
so
last time I got some of King's work was around the time he put out like Just Past Sunset, and I think that was around the time he either was still cashing that initial check from Under the Dome and the JFK book he did.
right.
They filmed it in
Says,
Mobile.
oh shit, really?
Yeah, filming locations, Mobile, Alabama.
Hmm. Says that the novella is told out of order, so it can be tough to follow. It hasn't been revealed whether the film follows a similar structure, but Flanagan's films and shows are known to have twists and turns with intertwining storylines, so it wouldn't be a surprise if that was the case. I mean, like I said, I haven't watched some of Flanagan's stuff, but this could show a different side of his abilities.
Yeah,
Um,
it's gonna take a very versatile director, especially if it's gonna be a director that takes the long haul with the Tower story, because they're gonna have to be able to pull in sci-fi, horror, like all the genres basically,
yeah,
and be able to present it in an almost Tolkien style fashion where it's high fantasy, but it's not the way you know the normal audiences are accustomed to. It's not sword and shield. We're going to go here and raise off, but instead it's going to be like this weird amalgamation of like post-apocalyptic like setting, but with like an Arthurian legend style like dialogue and just story itself.
right. So yeah, we'll be on the lookout for Life of Chuck when it drops. It says the release date's September the 6th, but I don't know if that's
I think that's theatrical.
well, it's good that it's getting a theatrical drop. Um,
That's in Canada, right? That's what it said on the IMDb.
yeah, it says a release date September 6th, Canada. Um, at the Toronto International Film Fest.
Uh,
So
so
I
it
don't know
could
when
get pushed
that.
back
Yeah,
to next year. I mean, we're so close to the end of the year.
yeah. It's like, why do they do the film festival at the end of the year? Because all the 90% of those flicks aren't going to release in the same year. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
And it's around holidays where people, yeah, there are people that are going to go to the movies, but they're not going to go for these not really smaller budget,
Yeah.
but most of the time it's either they're going to go watch the big budget Christmas movie or just the big budget movie that's been advertised since spring.
yeah. So we got that to look forward to. I'm excited to peep that. Oh, fun fact. I saw that um, Charlie Hunnam has been cast for season 3 of Monster that's going to follow the Ed Gein story. He's going
What?
to be playing Ed Gein. Yeah.
That's a that's a choice.
Yeah. So, Monster's the one that did the Dahmer story.
Mm-hmm.
And season 2 drops in 2 days, I think.
Yeah, there was a trailer for it, but I haven't seen the first
Yeah, I haven't.
season, so
You didn't watch the Dahmer?
no.
I got these video. You want to watch uh
Oh,
Exorcist
I did
2?
watch that.
Yeah, that's so
Yeah. Oh, okay. So they're not
yeah, yeah.
connected. It's just the same
No.
directors are making.
Well,
Like an anthology.
Ah, okay.
yeah, each season is going to tackle a different serial killer. And the second season is going to is Monsters: The Lyle and Eric Mendez
Oh,
story.
I've seen the trailer for that. Yeah, the Menendez brothers.
Yeah.
It's not really much of a
September
trailer.
September the 19th still tells the story of two brothers who killed their parents in 1989.
That was crazy. I watched the actual documentaries on that with my
Yeah.
wife, and it's pretty off the rails.
Yeah.
It's got here's a quarter.
Well,
Put it
it's
in your
like
pocket.
their
Put it in your pocket.
well, it's like their dad was abusing them,
Yeah, that was their story.
and they were
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, we blew
That's
his
a
goddamn
that's a
brains out."
choice. Guess they just
Yeah.
killed the mom because they had to.
They went full
Like,
MaXXXine.
Yeah.
they're like, we're gonna be stars, Dad.
You never go full
Like, what?
MaXXXine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to be checking that out because that's going
Yeah.
to be something that Marina's going to want to watch. And Dahmer was great. So if they give this the same treatment, even though I would say that comparatively this is way lower on the
I
scale.
think that dude that played Dahmer just did such a great job.
Yeah, I know.
Like
Yeah.
he just wanted to take some pictures,
Yeah.
You come
Yeah.
over and drink some brewskis?
But Charlie Hunnam is definitely a choice to play Ed Gein, but I think that hopefully, look, here's what I'll say about Charlie Hunnam. He flirts the line of being cheesy so much.
Yeah, that you almost expect it. It's a way to play safe.
Yes.
I'm
So
waiting for the role he does that makes me go, okay, he can act, but now he has range.
well, and he almost
Because,
got
well, I mean, let's face it though. In Rebel Moon, he was just Jax Teller in space.
yeah, exactly. Well, whenever he did The Gentleman, he kind of Guy Ritchie got him out of that weird cheesy factor a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
He was like, dude, use your fucking accent, man. Like,
Yeah, right, yeah.
cut the fucking bullshit dialect, man. Like, just be you.
Yeah. So, I'm interested to see how he tackles that, but that's going to be very interesting. It's going to be a period piece again. Well, I guess all 3 seasons of Monster is going to be a period piece, but that's going to be,
Well,
you
well,
know,
like I wonder, with him being Ed Gein and him being the age that he is, what time period are we going to be seeing this play out? Because, like, if we're gonna get where they actually catch him there near the end, it's like he's an old man.
yeah. I imagine that it's going to chronicle his whole thing, right? Because that's kind of how they structured Dahmer.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, when they got him, he's an old man, but he don't look
yeah.
super old. Like
And whenever you
here's a side by side of him old. I mean,
yeah. I
you can
mean,
pull
he
that off with
he
a little makeup.
yeah, right. Maybe let his cheeks sink in a little bit.
I'm just surprised they're doing that story. That they're going with
I
that.
mean,
That's not
Yeah,
normally the
yeah,
go-to.
you're right.
I thought that they would do Gacy before they went to Ed Gein. But
Well, Ed Gein's way more fucked up though.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I figured that they would have went Gacy because at least that in comparison, you know what I'm saying? They're all fucked up, but in comparison it's not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's what's gonna be funny is when this comes out and people that aren't necessarily privy to the serial killer documentaries and just some of the evil people we've caught in the world, they're gonna watch this to a degree and go, "Is this like a fucked up Texas Chainsaw movie?"
Like no, this is what
It's gonna.
they
Well, I mean,
made
it's just
it out of,
it's gonna be
you know?
interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see people criticize it for being Texas Chainsaw and the people being like,
Yeah.
like no
Yeah.
comment for you, buddy. Like
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't that
you
long
don't
ago
get
they did
dessert.
MGM Plus did a Psycho: The Lost Tapes of Ed Gein. It
Yeah.
was like a 4 episode thing where they played these audio tapes and
Yeah, I listened to some of those and it's wild. But with like they could have done what was his name? Kemper? Which I guess that they kind of
they kind
focused
of did him
that
already on that one
on
show.
Manhunter. Yeah. Which by the way, I did see a thing where um David Fincher is trying to get season 3 of Manhunter going.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like he may have the rights to that. And if Netflix doesn't want to do it, he may have the ability to take it
A
somewhere
show,
else.
a show I wish they would bring back. They probably never. They never will. Like this dude's already doing Star Trek, but I really wish they would have kept Mads Mikkelsen's Hannibal show going on. Like that's an uncut gem of a show. If neither of you have seen it, like it's well worth your time.
Yeah, I haven't got around to that one yet, but I've got it's on the list. It's on my retirement list.
There's this sequence that mirrors The Shining, and to me at least. You know, in The
Mhm.
Shining, when Nicholson's axing through the door and the camera's like locked onto the axe.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of in the same concept. There's a part where Hannibal's, he's been outed by a character and he's pursuing him. Like the dude's locked himself into the pantry. And, Hannibal's like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to kill you. He's in that mode, so he's locked in. And there's just a sequence where he's just lurching his body at this fucking door. It's one of the creepiest things I've ever seen. Like it's like when you like compare it to sequences of like that dude's gonna get you. Like you're not getting the fuck away from him.
Yeah.
Like that ain't this isn't. There's not gonna be a survivor in this at the end of this sequence.
Right.
And of all of them, I would say that show has one of the top tier moments like that, like for sure. Because you're like, I just the idea that like someone that's just that mentally gone, that's like, I'm getting through this fucking door and I'm gonna end your ass. Like it's, like it's not an over dramatic done. He's just dead silent. He's got just knife in hand, just throwing his fucking shoulder into that door, man. And it's just really creepy.
Right. Yeah. I definitely plan on giving that a go whenever I get some time to watch some stuff. But let's talk about Kev Smith for a second. So, Kevin Smith is expecting another reasonable hit with 430 movie, but many fans have been wondering whether he will ever get to make his long gestating sequel to Mallrats. Talk of Mallrats 2 has been ongoing for a number of years now, but as well as there being little movement on the film's development, the death of original star Shannon Doherty earlier this year made the impossible task seem almost even less likely than it was previous. Seems that was also how Smith originally felt too. So, this is an interview with a deadline. This is what Smith had to say about it. So, with Shannon's passing at that point, I was like, well, I guess that kind of closes the book for us. But then a couple of weeks ago, my producer was having a conversation with some folks at Universal. The thing has been for years that, of course, I'd love to make the Mallrats sequel, as I've said many times. Anytime I turn in a script, the good folks at Universal are like, this is neither fast nor
Hmm.
furious, so we never go anywhere. So Mallrats 2 is not abandoned just yet, and Smith seems ready to take a leaf out of the Costner and Coppola handbook by film financing by pitching that Universal should let him sort out the money to make the movie and just let him get on with it. He said, but I think we're going back to have a discussion again about like, look, you guys are never going to do anything with this. Like, but but we can and would and won't like but we can and would and would love to. So, can you let us take it out? We're not asking Universal to finance it, but it's just like, hey, can we have it so we can go out because I can get the movie financed in a heartbeat. Mallrats too. it sucks that Universal has this wrapped up because Clerks 3 worked out pretty well. Jay and Bob reboot
Mm-hmm.
worked out pretty well. From all the reviews I've seen, the 430 movie seems to be doing fairly well. Um, I don't think it's doing gangbusters, but it's very Smith accurate, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So why not? Why not let him? What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah. I wonder if this is on the Theo podcast. I just started listening to that, but I hadn't got past the heart attack story yet. He's still telling that.
Of course, right? I mean, that's the first 45 minutes of the
Yeah, he's like,
podcast.
hey, let me tell
Gotta
you why
be.
I'm vegan.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. Um, but like, look at all the stuff that Kevin Smith has been working on for the past like 15 years at this point. Where's Moose Jaws?
Yeah.
We've got
Let's get that
Mallrats.
financed and just upload
Yeah,
it, man. Sell it online. Fuck.
yeah. Well, and he released that movie that was like tied to the what was that
Ah, that
stuff?
horror movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wilco.
I think I've got a
Wilco.
copy of that on my Plex server. I found it.
I mean, because it was people that bought into the whole crypto. What was that stuff called where they were selling the images?
NFTs.
Yeah, it was tied to NFT. Yeah. So like you're gonna spend money to make that and tie it to NFTs that I don't think even panned out the way anybody was expecting it to. Well, I mean a lot of people expected it to pan out that way, but a lot of like creators were trying to make a career with that stuff. But anyway, um says that Mallrats is currently streaming on Apple TV Plus. So Universal has the rights to it. Does Universal not have a streaming service?
I don't think so.
I mean, why not? If Universal stuff is
Excuse
being
me.
hosted by Apple TV, then why not go to Apple and see if they would do it?
Well, he's just
And
going to get it financed like he did. What
yeah,
was it, Clerks?
yeah, go to Saban and
Yeah,
be
he's
like,
just going to
"Yo,
get them to do it. And
yeah,
he knows some people's got some money and he'll probably tour it around, make the money back. It'll make its money.
yeah,
I've noticed though that now, like when you say like Moose Jaws, well, it's like, yeah, but now he's into like these, like, they're kind of wholesome Kevin
yeah,
Smith movies. Like,
yeah." Post heart attack,
yeah, it's different. Like
yeah,
everyone's got the stories different now. Like,
yeah,
I think the next Jay and Bob will be that way. Like with the kids, kind of how the last one was. Like,
yeah,
like it's still goofy, but
yeah,
it's all got that like little Jersey girl moment.
yeah,
Jersey
right.
girl.
So maybe we'll see it at some point. I'm glad that he's not giving up on it after the unfortunate passing of Doherty, but I don't know
Universal Pictures, they're on Peacock, Amazon Prime, and Hulu. So they've got deals with,
with everybody.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. They'll have their own streaming service soon that'll like last for a year before it gets shut down.
Yeah.
So last up here, and this was something, this is this is not something that may be happening for certain. This is a rumor. Warner Brothers and Comcast have reportedly reached an agreement that could lead to new DC productions outside of the DCU, potentially involving Snyder and Ayer. Trav
That
shared
is,
this with us earlier. So what do you think about it, Trav?
I think, as a fan of the stuff that this rumor's advocating for, as a fan of that, at this point, like, it's behind me. Like, I mean, would I love to see more of Snyder's vision? Who wouldn't? Who's a fan? But at this point, Warner Brothers needs to just pack it in. They've made their decisions with Gunn. That they're moving forward with that. I mean, if there really is a backing for a David Ayer version of the Suicide Squad, pump out an Ayer cut and then wipe your hands clean, man, because they've already in universe ended the story,
Yeah.
like with Flash and Aquaman 2.
Yeah.
And there's really no going back at this point. So I mean, while it's cool that there are people that still are very vocal about, more vocal than I would be, to want to see more of this version of the Justice League, I don't know. It needs to die, man. It needs to just go. Like, too many years have passed, too many other projects and controversies and all that stuff. Are like, these actors have already went off to their other shit. Like, even if this could formula, like that they could form it and get it together, there is no fucking way in hell they could pay Ben Affleck enough money to come back as Batman. Now, I'm willing to eat my words on it, but I think both Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill would probably tell Warner Brothers to absolutely go fuck themselves.
Right. Well, all
More
right.
so
So here,
Cavill than all of them.
yeah. But here's my question though. Just let's exclude the potentially involving Snyder and Ayer. Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Warner Brothers and Comcast have reportedly reached an agreement that could lead to new DC productions outside of the DCU. So if we remove the potential involvement of Snyder and Ayer, like what does this look like? And do you think that this is directly because of the Batman and the Penguin? Because that stuff
I think
isn't
so.
part of DCU.
Well, and I think Gunn had mentioned it when he did his big, like, here's the timeline so far.
Mhm.
And just like we've talked about for a long time, um, the beauty of them, the thing that Warner Brothers has with DC that Disney doesn't with Marvel. Marvel's already jumped, and some people think they might have jumped the shark with the multiverse saga at this point. The beauty of Warner Brothers and DC is that they can absolutely square everything into
Yeah.
Elseworld stories.
Yeah.
Just an alternate, just like not even have it to where those universes are linked. Um, because let's face it, even though they have touched base with the multiverse with the Flash, not enough people gave a fuck about the Flash for it to really hold any kind of weight narratively.
Right.
Um, so yeah, they could have all these independent stories, and I would say leave Matt Reeves' Batman shit alone. Like, he is cooking and he is killing it.
Yeah.
Haven't even watched the Penguin yet because it's supposed to drop this week or next week, and if it's anything as good as the Batman, it's probably gonna be better
Yeah.
because technically it's kind of the Batman point, like 1.5.
Yeah. So it says that Comcast proposed to purchase Time Warner Cable for 45.2 billion, but the deal was called off in 2015 after opposition from various groups and plans by the US government to block the merger. Comcast does own NBC Universal, which includes a number of services that compete with Time Warner Cable, such as New England Cable News and Comcast Sports Network.
They're trying to keep it from not being a monopoly.
Yeah. So with Comcast being involved, which is kind of a weird thing that they're reaching an agreement. It's like the Arrowverse is over, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is this their attempt at trying to recapture what that was for quote unquote a more modern audience, even though like the Flash
Well,
and Arrow's not dated far enough to be, you know what I'm saying?
a lot of the folks that was with the CW verse since Smallville, those people are about our age now. So
Yeah.
it seems logical that they would try to take that and try to see if they can put it on a big screen since that same demographic now has like working man money.
Yeah.
So I mean I see I see a double dip for sure.
Yeah. It's very fascinating that this is, of course these are all rumors, but it's like we don't even have the first DCU thing with Gunn. And Gunn kind of coming out and saying, or him and Saffron just saying like the Elseworld stuff is going to exist has kind of opened a can of worms that may hurt them in the long run. Because like look at the complaints with the Flash and the fact that people were saying, "Well, why do we care about the Flash movie and all of the drama that's surrounding it when we have a perfectly phenomenal TV series of the Flash that has someone that loves playing that character, that is killing playing that character? Why do we care?" They could have definitely burn themselves here. And if whatever whatever Comcast and Warner Brothers sets up to do with these other DC projects, if that trumps um, what Gunn and Safran's doing, then it's going to be good for Warner Brothers, but it's going to be bad for a lot of the creators that are involved in all of this stuff. It'll be good and bad for everybody. And I'm not
Well, and
saying that
it's
there has to be a continuity with everything and a universe that's established, but it's going to be it's going to be hard for your average moviegoer and your average viewer to understand what's happening. We've already seen it with the Arrowverse. Is this part of the canon? Well, no, it's not because the Flash is different and Cyborg is different and Superman is different. And it's like, well, what do I need to watch? And it's like, well, technically it's two different worlds and blah, blah, blah. It could cause a bigger headache for people in the long run.
well, it also seems more like, and that's true. I agree with you, but I think it's also like a good blanket statement, kind of like a cover in their ass, like, hey, we're gonna have a bunch of different projects. If some don't pan out, don't don't judge the whole meal by just this one side, you know.
Yeah.
And that's kind of shit,
Yeah.
but it's I don't know. And to add to continuity, you know, I think if they could if they really want to recapture some old magic, release a story that's fucking good that pertains to one hero. And if the story can benefit from a little bump by brushing shoulders with another character, then let it happen. But if the story's fine by itself, let it stay that like let that one hero save the fucking day. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be them with, you know, Wonder Woman cartwheeling on screen to dodge a bullet and then cartwheeling off screen. Like, we don't need that.
Yeah. Well, Matt
Uh,
Reeves is shown.
and I mean, if you want to have it taking place during a time period where, yeah, for a you know, a world-ending crisis that's beyond the scope of something like, you know, that they can have it in the dialogue touch base with, yeah, Batman's very much aware who Superman is, or like in the middle of a Flash movie, be like, yeah, I know Aquaman, you know, all that stuff. Let those, you know, the audience isn't stupid. They know that these characters at some point in their histories are going to run into one another. So just because that's a thing, though, that doesn't mean they have to craft a whole movie around it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. I'm curious to see how Warner Brothers, because to me it feels like they're throwing as much shit at the wall just to see what can net them the most amount of money that they possibly can at this point. You know what I mean? So, and I
Yeah.
think that Guns stuff is going to do fine. People are going to go watch the Superman movie
Oh, it's gonna sell $1 billion, man.
for sure.
Like
So,
it's the last solo Superman movie since Man of Steel. People are gonna go to theaters and watch it.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that's all the news that I saw.
I sent that to y'all, but I don't have nothing to say about it.
Oh, I thought the Trav sent it. My
Was that
bad.
the unsent things?
Maybe. I don't.
There were some messages that were unsent.
I mean, you probably.
Anyway,
That's my
Oh,
bad.
those were. If it was from me, those were typos that I was deleting.
I
at least
mean,
they're cut.
any. Yeah, and
I mean,
which
if it's
could.
done, go ahead.
Yeah,
Put it on the streaming service.
yeah.
Why not?
I mean,
Yeah,
that
if
would.
there's
You
if
did the
there's a
other one, you know?
if there's a whole movie there, put it out. And
The movie was
I would
finished.
say, for the sake of fairness, release Batgirl too. Like release
Why not?
all these,
Well, they already wrote
all
that one
like
off.
well, like all of those all of the Warner Brothers movies that they just randomly decide to shelf, like the Looney Tunes
Well,
movie with Will Forte, like all
well,
of that.
see,
Like just
but
put
they
it
wrote
all
those
out.
off, and that's already happened. So you can't release it. Like they didn't write off um, Suicide Squad. They actually released. It was just a different cut.
Yeah.
So with those
Somebody.
shelved movies that they wrote off, $300 million,
Yeah.
they can't release that movie.
The only way that they can do that is if someone leaks it, right?
Sure,
So, remember
which wouldn't
Forte was
not any
like, "I
wouldn't
wanna
it
leak
wouldn't
it."
net them anything. Then
Yeah.
we're talking
Well,
lawsuits here, people. You know,
that's
I
why I
mean,
was gonna show up.
we had a chance to have a Warner Brothers film that wasn't fucking Space Jam, and
yeah,
they
With
fucked it.
yeah.
because they didn't want
About
to pay for it.
some of my favorite Looney Tunes characters, Roadrunner,
And Will
Coyote,
Forte, you know,
and Will Forte as the lawyer, dude. It's
he's
like this is
hilarious.
yeah,
I
whatever.
mean, I would, I mean, it would be a really cool idea, and they kind of did it a little bit with the puppet movie with McCarthy.
Yeah,
Um,
I know what you're
Mysterious
talking
but
crimes or whatever. It was something like
yeah, but do something like in the vein of Who Framed Roger Rabbit or Cool World.
That's what it was gonna be. It was gonna be the Looney Tune characters interacting with right?
yeah,
So, but I'm ready for trailer.
dude was suing because the shit wasn't working to kill the Roadrunner.
Yeah, he was suing Acme, which is such a brilliant idea.
It's hilarious. I mean, and
It is such
nowadays that's what would happen.
yes, that's
Lawsuit.
such
You're
a
hit with this lawsuit instantly.
yeah,
The piano did not hit him when he went under
yeah.
it.
God, I wanna watch that movie so bad
I wish he
because
would
you
leak it.
I know, for real, dude.
Just, I mean, whoever was chiefing around on the Devil's Lettuce and was like, dude, let's make it to where Coyote sues the fuck out of Acme. Like that's ingenious in my book.
But yeah, let's see what we got here. The Radleys. Is this like the Baldwins?
It's not like he said the bald ones. Like instead of the cone heads, it's just a bunch of people with
They're all
alopecia.
bald, hair eating bacteria.
Oh God.
That's real. All right, let's see.
Yeah, let's peep this peep.
It's rated R.
Isn't it? Okay.
What a weird sound.
That guy's a good actor.
It's like a down-tuned cello.
It's Mrs. Schroeder from Boardwalk. Mrs. Schroeder. Is that Shane Gillis?
That's what it looks like.
Why do you have to be invited in? Is he a vampire?
Yes.
Oh, it's his twin brother. Yeah, they're vampires. Missed opportunity, Radical Radleys. Oh, shit. Isn't it? Interesting.
Dude,
You know.
that guy would that dude would have been a perfect version of the hypnotist from Joe Hill's Heart Shaped Box. Like this the evil, demented hypnotist that like haunts this motherfucker. Like I don't know. The minute I saw him with the long hair and the way he was talking, I was like, that'd be perfect for that dude.
Right. Seven Cemeteries. Danny Trejo.
Trejo.
Trejo. Is he gonna
Wonder how
be
much it
machine?
costs to. Wonder if they're gonna let him show his Selma Hayek tattoo again.
They don't give up. Why is Mexico always that color on film?
Yeah.
So he's like 80.
Yeah.
El Loboya. Yeah, he is 80.
Is this Spanish Seven Samurai?
Watch what these guys do.
Jesus. What?
This guy right here. I mean, come on. Hey, cabrón.
Hey, cabrón. That
Oh,
interesting.
get rid of that ad. Back it up. Play. Kind of looks like the menu here.
Right.
Yes, chef.
I'm done with cooking stories.
Hmm. Here comes the twist. Some good looking cheese.
Oh, is it a haunted shit? A haunted restaurant?
Oh, uh,
This house isn't a safe space.
that's part of the experience.
Uh,
Nope.
That looks bad.
I love how it was like there's something going on. Are you still taking your anxiety medications?
Yeah, right. The Apprentice? Is this about Trump?
That's it.
Oh, snap. They're making a movie about me.
Tried to block it. Couldn't do
Yeah.
it.
It's got Sebastian Stan. He was a great Winter Soldier. Some say he's the best Winter Soldier.
I'd say he's the only.
All right. The Apprentice.
It's like the early life. Small loan of $1 million.
The only thing more American than me getting shot in the ear is the Winter Soldier losing his arm.
They're making me like him more.
Yeah, right.
I see what they did there.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
No ads.
All right. No, I'm good.
Yeah. Hey.
Lyle and
Oh,
Eric.
let's go. Yeah, if my dad was him, I might kill him too.
Yeah.
He's creepy. This is the prequel to No Country.
Hmm.
Oh shit!
Got the pumps.
Damn. You could just move out.
Yeah.
That's what most people do. Looks like a silly goose time
I mean, I'm down to watch it for sure, you
for
know?
sure.
It's an interesting choice to follow up
It is.
Dahmer, you know? I've heard about this, but I haven't watched the trailer for it.
I haven't either.
Brothers. Brothers. Jesus.
I mean, he
Hmm.
ain't wrong. Damn. Oh, oh
Jesus.
shit.
What the fuck is Samuel doing?
Was he crying? That looks great. Ah, Cohen. Hell yeah.
It looks pretty fun. We got some Cillian Murphy action.
Then his follow-up film from Oppenheimer.
Small things.
Cillian
Like
Murphy.
He stares. Killian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy. Sounds sad.
looks sad.
Amazing.
yeah.
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 Been a flick.
The Gravedigger?
What's happening?
I don't know.
Something's up with this.
He's been a bad, bad boy, father.
Are they doing abortions?
I don't know.
Something. I mean, when they're taking these young girls in there and doing something to them. I mean, something's happening.
I mean, they don't
They're
give
all young
anything
girls.
away.
Small
Yeah.
things like these. Small things like these.
I've seen this trailer. This movie doesn't look bad. Like I'm interested in watching this, of course. But like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what you think about it, Trav. Have you seen this trailer? Salem's Lot?
No.
I haven't.
All right.
All right, 3, 2. Oh, I don't have to do that. We saw a teaser with him in it.
For some reason, it's not loading on my own.
Creepy. I would move. Whoa.
I mean, it doesn't look bad, right?
No. So I'm still watching an ad.
Yeah, me too. Universal. All right.
Good choice of song. And they even did the remix.
Yeah, right. That trailer looks really good.
It's got a
Like,
really good look, the film, like the way they
yes.
shot it. It looks like the
Yeah.
70s. Like when that dude hits the wall and it
Yes.
sucks him in the door. It's like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
The fuck?
There's something on the wing. Oh, wow.
Oh God.
It's a wild one. Oh, the
What?
engineers. From the creatures from Pitch Black. Pan ass.
Mm.
Damn. I think this was going to be rated R. That's wild. Hey, Mr. Science Guy. Hmm.
It's a wild world.
We all.
Oh, we finally got a trailer for it.
Mickey 17.
Yeah.
Ooh, baby, baby. That's gonna be stuck in my head for the rest of the night. La 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 la
Yeah.
la la. All right.
This is the
Yeah.
Bong Joon Ho
Is this Space
Parasite.
Batman?
You remember? I remember when you read the article about it.
Yeah.
Wasn't that long ago.
Got Robbie Pat in it.
We call him Patty. Oh,
What the
shit.
fuck?
Interesting choice of voice.
Yeah.
Huh. Huh. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Hmm. I'm buying it.
That's yeah, I was not expecting that at
Mm-mm.
all, you know?
Sci-fi multiplicity, I'm down.
That's what I was
Yeah.
fixing to say. What
Yeah.
if it what if it's like multiplicity every time that they, like, reprint one, part of the brain doesn't get reprinted each time? It's like, oh, but that looks crazy in a good way. Alright, Davara Part 1. Oh, we got a series going in here, a
Oh, yeah.
saga? Okay, alright. Are
Well,
brown pants
we'll
gonna be
start that
involved?
over. 3 parts exactly.
Jesus Christ.
What? When he's talking to other people, he's like, "You barely have any distortion on your voice. You're not a main character."
Yeah.
I like how they purposely do that.
Yeah.
I choose to be an invisible fear from today.
He was riding a shark with a whip at the end.
Dude,
Turned into a whale.
That's why it's 3 parts.
let me ask you guys something. So, whenever we watch one of those trailers, I I always think it's going to be a period piece
Yeah.
until we see what the actors are dressed like, and then it's like, oh, they're wearing modern clothes. Like, doesn't it always feel like
Oh,
it's going to be
yeah.
a period piece right at the beginning? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is going to be like in
Old.
1800s. Yeah, and it's like, no, we've got
Those guys got a
polos.
cell phone, you know?
Yeah,
I guess
yeah,
that's just because it's such an old country.
So
maybe.
I
much
Yeah,
mean,
unnecessary reverb on the voices.
and distortion.
yeah,
They're always up in the microphone. When they do the voiceover, I just think it's funny that they do that on purpose. Like they want it to sound like their older movies. Like that's their callback to the older films.
yeah. I mean, hey, whatever works.
All right. What's the list? Trap.
I'm excited. I
M.
haven't
Night
watched it yet.
Shyamalan.
Shimalama ding dong.
Trap next week. And wait a minute. Do we have our first? No, that drops next week. The Penguin.
Oh yeah.
That'll be next week.
Oh yeah.
They're already raving about it.
Yeah. I think
Like it's so
Agatha
good.
drops soon
It
too.
does.
So I'm gonna
I
try to
have something to say
binge
about
that.
that, but I'm gonna wait till we
Yeah.
in the episode here.
Well, they said that there was like a little Parks and Rec reunion
Mm.
during the
In
premiere.
Agatha.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
At the premiere it showed, you know, several of the Parks and Recs peeps hanging out. I was like, that's cool. Where's Chris Pratt?
yeah. Stay
you
golden,
know?
pony boy.
Yeah, yeah, right. So, but yeah,
Trap. Checks in the
Trap,
mail.
dude.
The flag is raised.